Me and a friend of mine went fishing the other day and got into some catfish. So on the menu is some southern fried catfish and also some hush puppies. So y'all hang around. I'm gonna show y'all how to make the best fried fish you've ever had in your life. All right guys, we're gonna start off with some southern fried catfish. We're first gonna mix all of our dry ingredients together. Here we just have some flour. You could probably find somebody that measures this out, but I also feel like when it comes to frying stuff, nobody really needs measuring cups. Just eyeball it. So you get your flour. This is just some cornmeal, and then to give it a little extra kick, this is my favorite Cajun seasoning. There's 100 of them out there. They all taste great, but this is just the one I prefer. You can be pretty generous with this stuff. The more, you know, a lot of these have like some spices in them, so if you want to have a little more kick, like myself, just be real generous with it. So there's your dry mix for catfish fillets. You can set this off to the side. And now we're gonna make our wet mix. Now what you're gonna dunk the catfish in first, go to the dry. If you want them super crispy, like I like it, I like to go dry first, into the wet, back into the dry, before you drop them in the grease. So the wet is pretty basic, just some milk. This is buttermilk. After you get your buttermilk, a secret thing that I like to do, I don't know how secret it is, but I just like to do it, is a little bit of mustard, just yellow mustard. And also, just because I like things kind of spicy, just a little bit of your favorite hot sauce. Just a tad. Just a tad. And then also you want to go with just an egg. So there's your wet mix. You just want to mix that up real good. You want it spicy, and you really want that hot sauce in there. It should be a little red, not super thick, but a thicker consistency. Mix that up really nice. Here's our wet mix, just some buttermilk, hot sauce, an egg, a little bit of mustard. Here's our dry mix, just some all-purpose flour. You can use self-rising flour. Some people say use that. I just go all-purpose. Just some cornmeal, some Cajun seasoning, and then some delicious, fresh Nashville, Tennessee catfish. Now the fun begins. You're just gonna go right in here into the wet. You want to shake off all your excess. Over here in the dry, get a good coat on it. We're gonna do a few of these one dunk, and then I want to do a few double dunk. The more breading you have on it, the crispier it is gonna be. But it's also something you gotta keep an eye out when you get it in there. Grease is hot. These things fry really, really quick. So the more breading, it's got a faster chance to burn, so just have an eye on it. This is the best part about fishing. Like, catching fish is fun. Eating fish, it's more fun. I almost said funner. If you let them sit for a little bit and really let that seasoning get coated on them real good, your seasoning sticks a lot better, and you don't get as much falling off when you pull it out of the grease. All right, these are the double dunks. Shaquille O'Neal that piece of catfish. And I'm sorry that my neighbor's dog is deciding to jump in on the cooking lesson tonight, or today. But you know what? When you cook outside, sometimes you got to deal with your neighbor's dog. Fried fish is the best. My grandfather used to take me fishing. He would come back, fry them up for lunch or dinner. Every time I fry fish, I remember those fishing trips. I remember, you know, watching him clean fish for the first time. Outside of catfish, I think white perch is about as good as it gets when it comes to frying freshwater fish. So we're gonna let these sit for a minute, and I'm gonna check my grease, make sure we're at about 350 degrees, and we're gonna get to frying. The grease is ready to ripe at about 350. Keep an eye on that because it will cool off As you get the fillets in there, your grease will start to kind of cool down, but you just want to give these guys enough space to cook. I probably got 10 little pieces here, so I'll probably do 5 or 6 at a time. And one of the things I've also come to realize that you take about 2 to 3 minutes aside, but just let them sit. I used to flip them over, I used to check them, make sure that there's a lot of good things that are happening right there. Trust it, get your grease right temperature, your batter's good, and in 5 minutes we're gonna be eating some of the best catfish you've ever had in your life. Sitting here waiting for some catfish to fry up. I think drinking cold beer is the best way to pass the time. So, cheers. You want to let these set for a minute when you pull them out. These are going to be super hot. Look at that piece of fried fish. Come on now. There's not an uglier fish than a catfish, but goodness are they delicious. Look at the crust on it. You could taste that. Maybe I did overdo the hot sauce in some of that wet, but come on now, shut your. I love hush puppies. One of my favorite things to go with fried fish. Really, anything that you can fry goes with fried fish. It calls for a cup and just a little bit more of milk, whole milk, buttermilk, with some green onions, a little bit of salt, 1 egg, baking powder, baking soda, a little bit of flour, and then just mix this up. You want to get this to where it's like thick enough, almost like a, I'd say like a cookie batter. You see how it's already thickening up? And we want to get this a little thicker, so we'll just go with a little more just stone ground cornmeal. Right at kind of pancake battery consistency. And my favorite thing to do is add just some canned sweet corn. And this is gonna make up for that little... Hey, Virginia, Louie. How appropriate that I'm making hush puppies while my dog starts to bark. You wanna cook your hush puppies about the same temperature as you cook your fried fish. So 350, somewhere in there. You can use vegetable oil. I use peanut oil. You can use canola oil. I seriously just use an ice cream scoop and just go right into them. You can hear them starting to cook. So these hush puppies, the same kind of thing. You just want to make sure that they're getting golden brown, cooked evenly through. All right guys, we're all fried up. Hush puppies are done. Fish has been done. Some of my favorite sides with it. Pickles, cheese. I've got ketchup and the tartar sauce with it. So my neighbor's cutting his grass right now. But nothing is coming in between me and this deliciously fried catfish. Fish is delicious. Here's our hush puppy. Look at that. Gorgeous, like a corn muffin. That's what a hush puppy is. We've had dogs barking, my neighbor's cutting grass. I just poured the last beer from my keg, but this is some of the best fried fish I've ever had. Hush puppies, fried fish, can't beat it. Thank you all for tagging along.